Today you are going to learn rules 145 to 148, and all these rules after 148 also, all these rules go with active voice, passive voice. Usually I teach all about active voice, passive voice, regular classes online as well as offline. Here we cannot teach all the concepts, but I will give the introduction. When you take this active voice, passive voice, generally we use sentences in active voice. Many students know that. And what is the basic pattern? S plus V plus O pattern means subject, verb, object pattern. And in this pattern, here when you change this to passive voice, object comes to the subject position, subject goes to the object position. And two things you have to remember. We use, first of all, what is the use of passive voice? We use passive voice in conversational English, written English, at the workplace. What is the reason? Workplace and written English, usually we write about products or services, we talk about products or services. They always receive action. If the subject is the receiver of the action, it is called passive voice. If the subject is the doer of the action, it is called active voice. And here we have a transitive verb. What is a transitive verb? It can take an object. I write letters every day. Letters are written by me, and I teach English. English is taught by me. That means if there is an intransitive verb, there is no object, we cannot change it to passive voice. At the outset, you have to know this. Of all the tenses, 12 tenses, 9 tenses we can change to passive voice. Perfect continuous tenses we cannot change to passive voice because they become too lengthy. First you have to learn how to change the tenses from active voice to passive voice. Some patterns are there, they are like rules. Then some special important rules are there. You have to learn those rules as well. With this introduction, let me give an example. I have already said that I teach English. This is present tense active voice. I'll change it to passive voice. English is taught by me. I teach English. English is taught by me. This is in passive voice. This is in active voice. Let us go to rule number 145. Passive voice, present tense. We have already learned all the tenses in active voice. Today you are going to learn how to change a sentence in present tense from active voice to passive voice. What is the rule? What is the pattern? Here we should use subject plus be, present form, plus verb, past participle form, to change active voice to passive voice. The most important thing you have to know, in any sentence, any tense, the main verb is always in past participle form. That you have to remember. Look at the example. He teaches English, active voice. English is taught by him, passive voice. He is taught. You have to focus on is what? Primary auxiliary be, present form. Be, primary auxiliary, present form, there are 3 words. Am, is, are. Here we have to use is. Teach, taught, taught. The verb should always be in past participle form. By him. Other words are not that important. She makes dinner. Dinner is made by her. And when you deal with this, always remember in the exam, focus on the key words. Present tense, you have to use be, present form, and the main verb, past participle form. He teaches English. English is taught. You don't have to go through all the options. Wherever you see is taught, go there, and that is usually the answer. Rule number 146. It goes with passive voice, present continuous sentence pattern. We should use subject, be, present form. Any continuous tense in passive voice, the rule is we should use the word being. What is being? Primary auxiliary be in the ing form or present participle form. Any sentence in passive voice, do remember we have to use the verb in the past participle form to change active voice to passive voice. He is writing a book. He is writing a book, present continuous active voice. How does it change? In passive voice, you have to look among the options. is being written. Is, because book is singular, is being written. And when you see these keywords, that is the answer. You don't have to go through all the options. Any option that has is being written. Is primary auxiliary present form, being primary auxiliary be present participle form, and write, wrote, written past participle form. Keywords you have to focus on: is being written. She is driving. She is driving the new car. What she is driving, not important. Is driving changes to is being driven. Is be present form, being be present participle form, drive, drove, driven past participle form. Catch the pattern: is driven present, is being driven present continuous. Once you catch the pattern in the exam, when you see four sentences, four options, wherever you have to look for, once you read the sentence, you have to understand it is in active voice. They're asking you to find out the equivalent passive form. Then once you decide the tense, present tense, is plus verb past participle form. Present continuous, is plus being plus verb past participle form. That's how you have to look at. Rule number 147, passive voice, past tense. We should use subject plus be, past form. Present tense, we have to use present form. Here we have to use the past form. Primary auxiliary be, past form, there are two words: was, were. These two you have to recollect. And any sentence in passive voice, the main verb always in past participle form. To change active voice to passive voice: she broke the cup. She broke the cup, past tense. How do you change it to passive voice? The cup was broken. What are the key words here? Be, past form, and verb past participle. Only these two words you have to focus on. Was broken, break, broke, broken, and was, were past forms of the primary auxiliary be. He posted the letter. The letter was posted by him. You don't have to read all the options. Focus on the keywords, catch the pattern. Is written, present. Is being written, present continuous. Was written, past. Very simple. Rule number 148. Passive voice, past continuous tense. We should use subject plus be, past form, plus being, that is be in present participle form, verb past participle form. If you want to change from active voice to passive voice. They were decorating the room. Were decorating the room. Then how does it change? The room was being decorated by them. Keywords: being decorated. Be past form, being, decorate, decorated, decorated. It is in past participle form. Being decorated by them. She was writing a letter. She was writing a letter, past continuous. A letter was being written. Was being written by her. And when you recollect all the tenses in passive voice, not all, 9 tenses in passive voice, do remember, recollect the patterns, not individual examples. Is, take one particular verb, is written, present, is being written, present continuous, was written, past tense, was being written, past continuous. Once you catch the pattern in the exam, it is very easy to choose the appropriate option. And before I wind up the session, I have already told you what is the use of passive voice. Where is it used? It is used in conversational English. It is used at the workplace. It is used in business correspondence or written English. I will give examples, then you understand. As soon as you enter the room, you see some problem with the screen, some crack. God forbid that should not happen. Then you ask her, what happened? Here I am talking about the board, and that is the receiver of the action. Then spontaneously I know I have to use passive voice. I will say, it was broken by someone. It was broken. Someone broke it. We don't say that. It was because we are talking about the subject. It was broken by someone spontaneously. Imagine workplace. Someone said a meeting. You went there. You saw only a few employees. You asked the question, what happened to the meeting? What is the subject here? Meeting. And the manager cancelled the meeting. Subject is not the manager. We are talking about the meeting. Meeting received action. So we should use passive voice. Then they may say, it was cancelled by the manager. The meeting was cancelled by the manager last evening. Here it is in past tense passive voice. Again, business correspondence. Business correspondence goes with products usually, rarely services. Services also you can use, but most of the time products. Imagine someone placed an order from Delhi to a company in Hyderabad, 100 watches, some product, 100 items. We use the word consignment. And he writes a letter. What happened to the consignment? Someone has already sent the consignment. Who has sent, we don't have to mention. The person in Delhi may not know. But what is the subject here? Consignment. It has received action from one of the employees. Then spontaneously when we write a letter, we say the consignment has already been sent. That is in present perfect passive voice. We don't say Mr. Ramesh has sent the consignment. That is ridiculous. Whatever the subject, if the subject is the receiver of the action, spontaneously we decide we use passive voice. So what happened to the consignment? The consignment has already been sent. That is in passive voice. Have you guys got it? And as I said, when it comes to active voice, passive voice, this is an important topic. First, the tenses are very important. If you master tenses, you can master English grammar, English language, then question tags, then conditionals, then active voice, passive voice, then direct speech, indirect speech. Voice and speech are very important from banks, not only from bank exams point of view, but also from SSC point of view. SSC especially, quite often they ask questions based on two topics, active voice, passive voice, direct speech, indirect speech. To handle these two topics, you should be very good at tenses. Then 1 second you can easily decide what the answer is. And once you master tenses, these two topics become easy, voice and speech. Coming to voice, again there are two levels. Level 1 related to tenses and level 2 related to important rules. First, I will be completing all the rules that go with tenses, 9 tenses. Then I will take you to the higher level, some important rules that go with active voice and passive voice. And with this, I have completed 148 rules, not 147. How many rules? 148. And my suggestion, so many rules you have learned, you should revise regularly. Only then you will be able to remember. Simply learning doesn't help, because today rules alone will not help. Two things are required: rules plus contextual awareness. Only then you can manage. If you learn all the rules, it doesn't mean that you can answer all the questions. Rules plus contextual awareness, you can answer many questions effortlessly within no time. That's all for today. Thank you very much.